which of course went in favor of Rivers State. Let's get a quick reaction to all that the Rivers State governor had said. Tochukwu Ohazurike, a legal practitioner and of course an indigene of Imo State, joins us now via Zoom to react to some of the issues that the Rivers State governor raised in that speech. Good to have you join us, Barrister Ohazurike.
Tochukwu, welcome. Why are you smiling? I saw your nod of the head. Thanks for joining us on the show.
Thank you very much, Adora. Good morning to everybody. Actually, I needed to smile to show that Imo State indigenes are not defeated people, because actually the picture the governor of Rivers State wanted people to get is that people from Imo State have been defeated in a war. What happened was just mere litigation and wasn't warfare. There was nothing to fight over. The Supreme Court is now taking to have decided that what two brothers did not know who owned has now been decided that it belongs to Rivers State. That should be the extent of it and nothing more than that. But listening to what the governor said, I'm moved because he was standing on an altar of God, and unfortunately he was given that opportunity to stand on an altar to say all those things he said. Instead of being a peaceful person, he actually was, fanning the embers of hate, fanning the embers of disharmony between two neighboring states, Imo and Rivers State. And it's unfortunate that he had to use those words. There was no war, there was no fight, there was no drag me, I drag you. It was simply that the Supreme Court decided that the oil wells now belong to Rivers State. So there should have been some tone of, that big brother tone, that family tone. We are neighbors permanently. Imo and Rivers are permanently, eternally going to be neighbors. There is nothing anybody can do about that. The Supreme Court on this one cannot even move it. The Supreme Court cannot separate the boundaries between Imo and Rivers and relocate us to any other locations. So when things like this happen, it's expected for statesmen to take positions that are going to, engender peace, rather than show that one has been defeated and the other has not been defeated. When he talks about the betrayal from Emeka Ihedioha, or maybe even before I talk about that, the governor was speaking about having sleepless nights to make Emeka Ihedioha governor. I've quickly gone back to my history to check. The same day INEC conducted the election that returned Emeka Ihedioha then in 2019 as governor of Imo State was also the same day INEC conducted elections in Rivers State to make Governor Yeso Wike the governor of Rivers State. While he was keeping sleepless nights in Imo, he want people to believe that how he won his own elections, or did he abandon his own elections in Rivers State to come and make Emeka Ihedioha the governor in Imo State? So those boastful lines, where they don't go down well for a state. And the governor of Rivers State should somehow take it easy. Nothing has happened that hasn't happened before. People have won elections in the Supreme Court. People have lost elections. Emeka Ihedioha may have done that because he believed that it was what belongs to him. Emeka Ihedioha have done that because he needed that 15 billion the governor mentioned to work for the people of Imo State. And for the 9 months he was governor in Imo State, or 7 months rather, people really enjoyed that 7 months. And that was the best 7 months we've had in the last 10 years or thereabouts in Imo State. So Emeka Ihedioha did not do that to spite Rivers State. He did what he did to promote Imo State, which he was governor of. He wasn't governor of Rivers State. And Yeso Wike may have also gone to court now and has won in court, not because he wants to spite Imo State, but because he wants to promote Rivers State. But his words now on the altar show that maybe he went to court, not because he wanted to promote Rivers State, but because he wanted to spite Imo State. That is not actually the color he should be painting. The governor should have been painting the color of brotherhood, because eternally Imo State and Rivers State will be brothers. And there is absolutely nothing anybody can do about that for now.
All right,
Thank you.
Barrister Hazurike, of course, as you heard from the governor there, he spoke on a number of issues, raised a lot of claims and allegations, one of which, as you have also alluded to, is that Emeka Ihedioha, the former governor of the state, had not respected an agreement reached between the two states concerning those oil wells. He also accused the National Boundary Commission of being a corrupt agency. But let's look at, the role played by the National Boundary Commission in this matter. Do you think that commission would have acted swiftly and timely to ensure that this dispute did not degenerate to the point of getting to the apex court?
It is the duty, statutory duty at that, of the National Boundary Commission to demarcate the boundaries between states in the country. So if at any point in the exercise of that statutory function, the National Boundary Commission took a decision that the governor of Rivers State felt wasn't comfortable to him, it did not therefore mean that they did that because they were compromised, or it did not mean that they did that because somebody, corrupted them to take the decision. Nigerian politicians, once any decision doesn't go in your favor, the first allegation you make is that the authority that took the decision has been compromised. Even the courts, when they give judgments, the next allegation is that the courts had been compromised. So if the Boundary Commission had done anything, and the governor now alleged, the governor Wike now alleges that they were corrupted, governor did not drop any allegation, any evidence to back up that allegation. It was a wild claim, very wild claim. And he did not drop any evidence to support that. I would have expected the governor to have said, oh, they are very corrupt. On a particular date like this, he mentions a date, something like this happened, and so person in National Boundary Commission received XYZ amount of money, and based on that inducement, took a decision that wasn't right. But he did not back it up. He just made wild allegations, and it's not proper. I make allegations myself. I know that at times on TV I make allegations. But at all times that I make allegations, if I don't have any scintilla of evidence to back it up, I don't make them. So when I have evidence, I make my allegations boldly. And I expect also, as a very bold and courageous person that he is, Governor Wike should have also boldly made his allegations and stated facts to back it up. But to say that they are the most corrupt government agency, I don't think that sits very well with the reasonable person who has watched that video clip or who has listened to what he said without giving any evidence as to the reasons why he made those allegations. You don't just make those allegations without reason, and you say they are the most corrupt government agents, that if you are fighting corruption, go to National Boundary Commission and fight it. Does it now mean that the Imo State governor then have bribed them to take the decisions they took? That could, if he had evidence to that effect, I know Governor Wike would have said it. The fact that he did not say it is a fact that he did not have any evidence. That's why he didn't say it. Otherwise, if he had, I know Governor Wike, very bold and correct, he would have mentioned it specifically with dates, with time, with amount, if he had any evidence to any of those effects. But because he didn't make such allegations. He just made that wild and generalized allegation about being a corrupt agency. Obviously because they took a decision in favor of Imo State. One other thing that must be stated is that courts deal with facts. Courts don't deal with truth, because truth is subjective, facts are constant. So the fact that the court says these oil wells now belong to Rivers State, and because the court have said it must be accepted, and that will be the way it will be for now, and that is the way it will be. The wells belong to Rivers State. That may not be the truth, because courts don't deal with truth. Do you understand? So the truth should have ordinarily come from the National Boundary Commission, which is the fact. But however it has happened, let's just take it the way it is. As brothers, as neighbors, Imo and Rivers share very long boundaries along several local government areas, and there's nothing anybody can do about it. I know up to Ohaji Mbema exists. Ngopala is also having a boundary with Rivers State. All these things, there's nothing anybody can do to shift those boundaries now. They will permanently be neighbors. So the tone should be tone of conciliation. The tone should be tone of brotherhood. But I think the governor got it wrong. Celebrating that your party lost a governorship. That is indirectly what he did here too. Yeah. Celebrating that Governor Hedion had lost and that somebody who was fourth now became first. He's celebrating that the governor lost, that the PDP, his home party, lost. The same PDP that he's seeking the presidential ticket of. So if you are now president, that means instead of you not to be comfortable with your party man on any issue, any other party can take the office. So that should not be the tone, and that the governor should take it easy and calmly, so that he doesn't make, because as a presidential aspirant, people watch every demeanor of yours. He didn't look presidential on that altar. He didn't sound presidential either. And these are the factors that, inform the opinion of, that mold the opinion of people when they want to take electoral decisions. So the governor should really take it easy and be a little more presidential, if at all he is for now. Thank you.
All right, just before we go, again, I would want to ask you the angle of, people's point of view from this conversation. We just know that recently there was an explosion in an oil community in Imo State where hundreds of people were said to have lost their lives, and through illegal bunkering. And one would think that these are times when the governor of Rivers State should be showing a sense of familiar spirit of empathy and also goodwill, in looking at how to show exemplary leadership from what he has been able to achieve in Rivers State in the area of dealing with illegal refineries, or rather bunkering. But going forward, what does this do for the citizenry, for the people of these communities? Because again, they say, show me your leader and I will show you where to go. And at the end of the day, if the people do not have a sense of peace and, harmony coming from leadership, what is the danger of that for these communities that are neighboring each other, and what can be the way forward to actually broker, a sense of brotherhood?
Thank you, Adora. There are three angles to this. The first angle is the angle of the state government in Imo State, knowing about the operation of that illegal oil refinery and allowing it to continue until the unfortunate events that happened, and we lost citizens in their hundreds. It was so unfortunate that that was allowed to happen. There is no way the state can say that they were not aware of the illegal oil refining in Abezi Forest. Trailers, tankers, vehicles of all sorts move into that place, load and move out. There is no way the state will not know. There is a local government chairman there. There is an SSS office in every local government. There are traditional rulers. There are people who work for the state in every community. So a massive operation like that could not be going on, and the state will claim that they did not have knowledge. So on that, for allowing that to happen and continue until it led to the death of people, I blame squarely the Imo State government. The second angle to that unfortunate event is that the Rivers State governor has been known to be, in quote, generous to states that have suffered misfortune. The Sokoto State market got burnt. There are no records of human beings that died. He went there, he donated 500 million. I think he also donated money in Kaduna. He donated money in Benue, I think another 500 million. But just across the boundary there, his state, there was an unfortunate event and people died, over 100 died, were burnt to ashes. The governor did not as much as observe 1 minute silence, even on that altar where he was attacking issues that concerned oil well, and that the people who died were also dealing with issues of oil. But he did not show concern for the dead. Maybe he also celebrated it because they are from Imo State, the state that wanted to take what belongs to Rivers State. That tone was not fine of the governor. It wasn't what the governor should do. People had died. Even when they die like that, at least you show that, oh yes, if you can have been generous and empathetic to denote 500 million for shops that were burnt in Sokoto, and you did not find it worthy to observe a minute silence or even a line of almost an hour of comment on that altar to accord respect, the final respect to those who lost their lives in that unfortunate incident. It was in a very bad taste that the governor could have done that without observing those people and recognizing the fact and paying them their last respect. And now the third angle to it is the fact that we live in a country where the federal government looks at, all natural resources ordinarily belong to the federal government. But the federal government now concentrates only on oil, because you can mine solid minerals and take all the benefits. In Abakaliki, all sorts of solid minerals, in Nasarawa, in Zamfara, which is even, what is happening in Zamfara is linked to the mining of gold. All this violence you see, that's where these bandits started until they expanded. Now, when you see that in other states, solid minerals are mined and the artisanal miners take all the benefit and go away. And now you come to the oil because, you have ready market for it, and you now say, people should not mine it. That's why people are mining it in the deep forests. That's why people are mining it against, and you say they are being attacked by security. Why not stop every mining, both for crude oil and for solid minerals, and then have a template for every mining, whichever one anybody wants to do, be regulated by government. Government must regulate the mining, particularly in the Niger Delta, because they have shown that other states that have their own solid minerals can mine them. There is no gold. I don't think there is gold in River State. So people are not expected to go and mine gold in River State. The only natural resources they have there, not just in River State, in the Niger Delta generally, the only resources they have to mine is their crude oil. So the way you have regulated and giving licenses to people, I know people who are giving licenses in Abakaliki in Abia State to go and mine lead and all other solid minerals. Also give licenses to these people who are already involved in this thing, so you can regulate them, so the lives of your citizens can be guaranteed. Government can also even make revenue from it, and then it will help in other things and even improving the quality of petroleum, because as far as those illegal refineries are still in operation, whatever bad products they bring out from that place, they successfully push it into the market. And because they push it into the market, that's why they are still in business. They can't be in business if they don't have buyers who buy all those things they produce from there. So it is in the interest of government. The federal government should show more interest, not in destroying those things, those illegal refineries, but to regulate them and put templates on how those refineries should operate, give them licenses, and the required and desired revenue. And then lives can be saved. It's unfortunate that those number of people had to die.
All right, Tochukwu,
we have to go. But Tochukwu, as you well know, Governor Wike of River State is of the PDP. And of course, he's currently rooting for the party's ticket ahead of next year's presidential election. The former governor of Imo State, Emeka Ihedioha, is also of the PDP. Now, some persons, particularly those in Imo State, are worried that this matter or the outburst of the governor of River State could cause some kind of disaffection or a crack in the relationship between the family of the PDP in River State and that of Imo State at the time. You know, both families should come together to see how they can help their political party to secure victory in next year's general election. Barrister Tochukwu, before we go, what conversations do you think should take place between the PDP family in River State and Imo State to ensure that this whole matter does not affect politicking ahead of next year's elections?
Thank you, Tiana. The thing is simple and it's factual now. This rift and this so-called betrayal that Governor Nyesom Wike is referring to is already affecting the fortunes of the PDP in Imo State as we speak. The National Secretary of PDP, Senator Samuel Anyanwu, belongs to